Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video is specifically requested from one of my subscribers, and that was about ranking face palettes. So I obviously wanted to rank them eventually because I want to get to my entire collection when it comes to ranking, but I thought doing face palettes next was a great idea because I only have 11 of them. I know that that still sounds like so many face palettes, but it's a little bit more manageable for me to rank. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to share with you all my face palette collection and rank them. All right, so in 11th place, I have this one from Becca, and this is the Pop Goes the Glow Champagne Pop Face and Eye Palette. I actually won this in a giveaway. That's the only reason that I have this in my collection, and I really don't gravitate towards this palette that much. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably because I don't really care for a lot of the products in here. I of course love the Champagne Pop highlighter, but I feel like that's the only reason I reach into this palette. So that's why this one is ranking in at number 11. I will never declutter this though, because I did win it in a giveaway and that never happens to me. So there's that one. And then this one is a NARS face palette, and this is the Bord de Plage highlighting and bronzing palette. I'm pretty sure that this is discontinued. It's no longer available, but I did purchase this one from Poshmark. And here is what this one looks like. This highlighter gets a little bit loose in the pan, so I'm trying to be very careful when showing you guys, but it does have a bronzer or 2 bronzers and 4 highlights in here. So I can't seem to ever declutter this one because I enjoy the highlighters in here a lot. The bronzers in here are a little bit harder pressed, so it's a little bit harder to get the product on my brush, but I really enjoy the highlights in this palette. So that's why that one is ranking in at number 10. And then ranking in at number 9 is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Mini Sculpture Unlocked palette. This was part of the holiday collection from last year, so in 2020. And the reason this one is ranking in at number 9 is because this performs really well, but I do not think that it was worth the price. I know I got this on a discount. I got it for like 20% off, but I think regular priced, it was probably closer to $60. And so I just don't think it's worth that price. I think everything in here performs very well, but again, I just don't think that it's worth the price tag. And honestly, I feel like Hourglass is a little bit too hyped for me personally. So that's kind of what I took into consideration when ranking that one. Then I have just a blush palette from Tarte. It's just blushes in here. This is the Blush Bliss blush palette. And here is what this one looks like. The blushes that are included in this one are absolutely stunning. I really enjoy the Tarte blush formula. These are actually the only blushes from Tarte that I have in my collection, so that's why I like to keep this one around. I did purchase this from Poshmark. I understand that it's a little bit older, so I'm not entirely sure how long I'll keep this in my collection, but I do like it. I think it performs well, but I'm not reaching for it as much as some others in my collection. And then ranking it at number 7, I have another Tarte palette, but this one actually is an entire face palette. So this is the Tarteist Pro Glow and Blush palette. So this comes with bronzers, blushes, and a highlight. This is really beautiful, and I think it actually performs a little bit better than the blush palette that I just shared with you. I do like this one. Again, there's some other palettes, face palettes that I'm gonna speak about today that I enjoy more. So that's why this one is ranking in at number 7. Ranking in at number 6 is the BH Cosmetics Glowing and Grease palette. This is a blush and highlighter palette. I'm not sure if this is still available, but I love these face palettes from BH, but I don't reach for this one as much as the other one that I have that I'll speak about in just a moment, but I love this formula in these BH Cosmetics face palettes. I think that they perform so well, and I love how pigmented these blushes are and the highlights in the palette. I also love that they are very long wearing on the face as well. I love that about them, but I guess because of the colors and the highlighters are a little bit deeper for me, I don't reach for that palette as much. Then I have the Jaclyn Cosmetics Rouge Romance Rouge Affair Matte Blush Palette. And I know that this is just a blush palette, so I don't know if you would technically consider this a face palette, but I definitely do, because it has so many options for blush in this one. And this is actually really, really great quality. I really enjoy the quality of these blushes. They are super, super pigmented, so you have to go in with the light hand. And this is a little bit of a pricier face palette, so definitely keep that in mind. But I love that you can find Jaclyn Cosmetics on sale often, because not only is it sold at Ulta, but it's also sold in Morphe stores, Morphe online, of course Jaclyn Cosmetics online. So I really enjoy the blush formula, and I love the colors that she picked out for this one. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with that one. Ranking in at number 4, I feel like I'm going through these very quickly. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection and Whaley Hang Face Palette. So this one is actually, believe it or not, still available on Target online, or excuse me, in stores. I have seen this many times at Target. Pretty much every time I go to Target, I see it. I purchased mine from Ulta online, but first off, I freaking love the way this smells. As soon as I open it, it smells so good. I like this palette, and fun fact, I actually decluttered this and gave it to my sister because, well, I wasn't actually decluttering it. She was here at my house and we were going through my makeup collection, and she really gravitated towards this. So I was like, you can just have it, it's fine. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. Well, I ended up really missing it, and so I went ahead and repurchased it from Ulta online, and I'm glad that I have it. These are so creamy and so buttery that sometimes it can get a little bit patchy on on your skin whenever you're applying them, but I still love them. The highlighters are not my favorite in the palette. I really love the blushes and the bronzers, and yeah, I love this face palette a lot. I think it's really, really great. Then ranking it at number 3, I have, and I feel like a lot of my face palettes are discontinued, so I apologize for that, but this is the Natasha Denona Sculpt and Glow face palette. So mine, it kind of looks disgusting, so I'm so sorry, but this is a cream and powder palette. So you have your creams here, and then these are your powders. And so this is something that I use pretty often. I really, really enjoy this cream bronzer formula. I really wish that she would come out with a single cream bronzer, because I think that her creams are phenomenal. So I really enjoy this one. It is getting a little bit older in my collection. I hate how some of the stuff is a little bit harder, like hard panned. So I hate that some of this palette has hard pan in it. So that's really irritating. It also just gets a lot of texture. So I don't know if that's maybe something that happened in her older like powder or face formulas. So maybe that's something that, is why it's discontinued, but I think it performs overall very, very well. Then ranking in at number 2, I'm sure you guys are going to be a little bit surprised about this one, because I have raved about this so much, and it probably could have been ranked at number 1, but this is the BH Cosmetics Blushing and Bali 6 color blush and highlighter palette. So this is the one that I was talking about whenever I was talking about the Glowing in Grease palette, that this one I just use far more than the Glowing in Grease. I think I enjoy these blush tones a lot more, especially for my skin tone, and I feel like these highlighters work a lot better for my skin tone as well, but I also like that there's some deeper option in here so that other skin tones can use this palette. But overall, I just think that this is such a stunning, stunning blush and highlighter formula from BH Cosmetics. It performs just as well as the Glowing in Grease one, but like I said, I just gravitate towards this one more. And again, these are so long wearing, and I think these are super underrated from them, from the brand. I highly, highly, highly recommend this face palette. I do. And then ranking in at number 1, I am so, so glad that I decided to pick this up this year. I love this face palette. I have ultimately fallen in love with it, and it is the Smashbox Cali Contour face palette. Love this. This has everything I could possibly need in a face palette. It comes with a like banana powder, a contour, bronzer, blush, highlight. I love everything in here. I also really love the blush tones that they provided in here. They're a little bit more like bronzy looking, and I really, really like that. It's very different for like an everyday look, but I like that. I also love the banana powder in here. I think it sets underneath the eyes very, very nicely, and the bronzers perform well. The highlighter is nice. I am just so glad that I picked this one up and that I got it for a very, very good deal. I want to say I got this for like $14, which is phenomenal because Smashbox is obviously a more high-end brand. So those are all of my face palettes. Those are all 11 of them. I just wanted to share with you guys my opinion about all of them and rank them. Face palettes are not as exciting to me as probably, you know, they once were, but I still really enjoy a good face palette. I think it's nice to have face palettes just in case like you're traveling or you're wanting something real quick and fast where it's kind of like it has all in one. It's like a one-stop shop. So I still really enjoy them, but they're just not as exciting to me as they used to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. And if you did, I really hope that you will give this video a thumbs up. And also I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!